Good day, colleagues. Today we're going to show you how to set your assessment using the new proctoring tool, which is Honorlock. You will go to your course, log into your course, and then you will go to where your tests are. If it's under tests and exams, or assignments and exams, or assessments, where your tests are from your link. In my case, my tests are under assessments. So from your test, you go to the test that you want to set the Honorlock proctoring system. Once you reach, this is the test that I'm going to use. You will click on the drop down arrow of the test, and then you will click on edit test options. Whilst you edit test options, remember you have done all these test settings when you were creating your test. Now you are editing the test options so that you can now include this Honorlock, because you did not include the Honorlock when you were setting this test. So you will click on that edit test options. The instructions that you have written on that test when you were setting, it will show. If you want, you can activate the show instructions before the students can write the test. Now on the Honorlock part, you will see this area for the first time when you are enabling your Honorlock. You will click on this blue link that says click to enable Honorlock. Whilst you click on that, it will show you that you must click on submit so that the changes can be enabled. So now you are now selecting the proctoring options that you want in your test. By default, all these are activated, but if you want, you can deactivate the ones you don't want and activate the ones you want. For example, record webcam, it's already active, but if you don't want, you deactivate that. But we want the record webcam to be activated. If you want to add a calculator, scientific calculator, so that when the students are writing the test, that calculator can appear to them, you can activate that calculator so that it can show to the students as well on their side. But if you don't want, you deactivate so that it don't have. So when it has this blue tick, which means it's active or it's enabled, you will choose the ones that you want. Then you scroll down to the student guidelines. You determine what the students can or cannot do during the exams. If it is now, all of these are inactive. So if you allow this to be an open book, you activate that. Then remember, when the tick is blue there, that means that option or that tool is activated. So you will click on that. So you will read all these and then choose the one that you want. You can click on show additional instructions, and then you can add additional instructions to your students so that this is what is expected from them. If there is none from these to be selected, you can write additional notes to your students. They will also appear, it will also appear and be visible to your students as well. On the accommodations, when you scroll down, that is now the accommodations. These are the notes as well when you are writing. That means, as we know that the proctoring system Honorlock, we've got the people behind that are assisting us 24/7. So it's easy for them to see what are the special needs that are accommodated in this assessment. They will be monitoring, because those back-end people from Honorlock that are monitoring the students when are writing the exams, if there are special needs or accommodations, we call them accommodations, that is the special needs for some students, they will be able to see them. And when those students are accessing or using those needs or the notes that were recommended for them to use those special needs or to have those special needs, the people that are monitoring, they won't be able to question those students. They will know that so and so has an option to access a third device. So and so has an option to access a handheld computer. So those are the special needs that you need to type here. So you need to indicate student Thandokazi must be allowed to access a handheld computer. That is a special need for that student. Student Nomsa must be allowed to access a second device. That is the special need for that particular student. So those examiners behind on Honorlock will now, when they are monitoring the exam, will now be able to allow student Thandokazi and student Nomsa to have access to those particular tools as per the special needs that were accommodated on the exams. So the exam visibility, you determine when the exam is supposed to be accessible to the students. We just leave it to that. You use the normal dates on the exam settings that we want. You can click on save in saving those settings. Now the settings has been saved when you clicked on save. Now you will continue with your test availability the normal way we were doing. If you want to make the test available to them, yes. You want to add announcements, yes or no. It depends. All these steps, those are the steps that we're using. You force completion, you set the timer, you display it when, the normal way that we are setting the test. Coming to the password. The password field is required when Honorlock is enabled. This password by default is set by the Honorlock system. So we don't deactivate this, we don't remove this password. When our students are writing the exam using the Honorlock, they will just go through because they entered on the Honorlock system, so they won't need the password. But if the students are writing outside the Honorlock, that is when they will call you to request for the password, as we were doing on the responders. When the students were writing using responders, they were not requested the password because they were writing through responders. But when our students were writing outside responders, they will call and ask for password. That is when we will know that the student is writing or is accessing the exam outside the proctoring tool. So we just leave that password as it is generated by the system. The test availability, the due date, same steps as we were doing. You include the grade center, everything is still the same as we were doing. The last button is submit. So when we set, this is how we are setting our test using the Honorlock system. You are able to go back and edit if you want to change the options as well. So you can go back and edit as we're normally doing. Then you can change the proctoring. You see now when we are coming back from the second time, we don't enable because it's already enabled when we were creating this for the first time. So you can be able to change whatever activities or whatever options that you want from your proctoring for your guidelines and all that stuff. And then if you made any changes, again, you will click on the submit button. So that is how we are setting our exams using the Honorlock system. Thank you.